Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA, captured one of the loudest sounds ever recorded, which they named the bloop. The sound was loud enough to be picked up by sensors over 3,000 miles away. Originally, researchers noted that the nature of the sound made it seem like it came from an animal, although no known animal exists that is large enough to make that sound. After 15 years, the NOAA concluded that the noise came from an icequake, which is when seismic activities cause a break in frozen ground. However, many people still question this conclusion, and the bloop is the source of many conspiracy theories to this day. Number 3. The ocean's canyons make the Grand Canyon seem small. Not to take anything away from the gorgeous Grand Canyon on Earth, but the Simchuk Canyon, located in the Bering Sea, has vertical relief of 8,520 feet, almost 2,500 feet deeper than the Grand Canyon. Number 4. The biggest ocean waves are beneath its surface. The biggest ocean waves are not the ones that you can see from the shoreline. Physical oceanographer Kim Martini told Deep Sea News, the largest waves that occur in the ocean are called internal waves, which take place between two fluids with two different densities. As these internal waves travel for thousands of miles, no less they can grow to be 650 feet tall. Number 5. Water at the bottom of the ocean is incredibly hot. In these deepest parts of the ocean, the water temperature may only be 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, with the exception of water coming out of hydrothermal vents in the seafloor. The water released from these vents can be up to 400 degrees Celsius or 750 degrees Fahrenheit. The intense pressure at these depths, the same pressure that would crush you, that keeps the water from boiling. Number 6. The ocean is home to nearly 95% of all life. With so much going on well below the surface, it's easy to forget that the oceans are teeming with life. In fact, 94% of life is aquatic, according to the USA Science and Engineering Festival. That means those of us who live on land are part of a very, very small minority. Number 7. Coral produces its own sunscreen. Too much sunlight can damage the algae that live inside coral in shallow water. To protect the algae, which are a main source of sustenance for the corals fluoresce. This creates proteins that act as a sort of sunscreen for the algae. Number 8. There's enough gold in the ocean for could supply 1 million people with drinking water for 5 years. A large iceberg from Antarctica contains more than 20 billion gallons of water, which could conceivably supply 1 million people with drinking water for 5 years. But this piece of information isn't just a great way to illustrate how massive these icebergs are. A company in the United Arab Emirates is actually planning to begin towing icebergs from Antarctica to the coast for exactly this reason. The country receives, on average, just 4 inches of rainfall each year and is at risk of serious drought in the next 25 years, but may be able to solve the problem with this iceberg water solution. I don't know about that, because wouldn't they just be taking the icebergs away from like the polar bears and the penguins and stuff who need them? Who like we're already kind of destroying their habitat and global warming and stuff, so like if you go stealing their icebergs, then what are they gonna do, you know? Anyway, number 14. Pressure at the bottom of the ocean would crush you like an ant. In the Mariana Trench, 35,802 feet below the surface, which includes the deepest point on the planet, the water pressure is 8 tons per square inch. If you made your way down there, it'd feel like you were holding up nearly 50 jumbo jets. Number 15. The planet's biggest waterfall is in the ocean. The tallest waterfall you're going to see on land is Angel Falls in Venezuela, which has a drop of over 3,200 feet. But that's nothing compared to the Denmark Strait Cataract, which is an underwater waterfall in between Greenland and Iceland, formed by the temperature difference in the water on either side of the strait. When the cold water from the east hits the warmer water from the west, it flows underneath the warm water with a drop of 11,500 feet. According to the National Ocean Service, the flow rate of the waterfall is more than 123 million cubic feet per second, which is 50,000 times that of Niagara Falls. Number 16. More people have been to the moon than to the Mariana Trench. In human history, 12 people have set foot on the moon, but just 3 people have managed to make it to the Mariana Trench because of the extreme conditions there. One of those people, director James Cameron, who wrote about the dive for the magazine National Geographic. Number 17. Half of the United States exists below the ocean. According to CBS News, more than half of the United States exist underwater. How, you ask? Simple. The borders of our country don't stop where the land ends. They expand 200 nautical miles away from shore. Number 18. Oceans have lakes and rivers too. The ocean is like an entirely separate world. There are trenches, mountains, volcanoes, and lakes and rivers. As seawater makes its way through layers of salt, it forms little depressions on the ocean floor. Because the water around these depressions contains more salt than normal seawater, it's denser and sinks into the depressions, creating little briny pools. These are a lot like the lakes we know, in that they have shorelines and some of them even have waves. Number 19. The Mediterranean used to be dry. The Mediterranean Tsunamis are triggered by seismic events and can, according to the National History Museum of Utah, cross the ocean at speeds of 500 miles per hour when the ocean depth is 3.7 miles. These waves are usually unnoticed as they are only a few inches above the surface, and as the waves move towards land and the depths shrink, they pick up water and increase in above surface size, but thankfully slow down. Number 24. The United States lost a hydrogen bomb in the ocean. Every year, shipping containers get lost in the ocean and oil spills are unfortunately common. But in 1966, the United States managed to lose a hydrogen bomb at sea. Luckily, according to history, it was eventually found with the help of a Spanish fisherman. Number 25. The world's largest living structure is in the ocean. The world's largest living structure isn't an enormous copse of trees or even a massive fungus. It's the Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia. The reef spreads out over an area of 133,000 square miles, and it is so huge it can actually be seen from outer space. Number 26. There are 3 million shipwrecks in the ocean. From the Titanic to Christopher Columbus's Santa Maria, the oceans are home to around 3 million shipwrecks, according to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Number 27. The ocean has more artifacts than all the world's museums combined. Thanks to these millions of shipwrecks, the ocean houses countless treasures and artifacts. National Geographic estimates that there are more treasures on the bottom of the ocean than in all the world's museums combined. Number 28. If all the ice melted, the sea level would rise 26 stories. According to the NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, if all of the glaciers and sheets of Arctic sea ice melted at the same time, sea level would rise an estimated 262 feet, which is about the height of a 26-story building. Just a bit shorter than the Statue of Liberty. Number 29. The ocean is a magnet for heat. The ocean is the largest solar energy collector on Earth, according to NOAA. The proliferation of greenhouse gases prevents heat from escaping our planet's atmosphere. And all that energy has to go somewhere. Unfortunately, it goes straight into the oceans. As a result, ocean temperatures have rapidly risen over the past few decades. Number 30. The ocean is our greatest source of oxygen. Most of the oxygen in our atmosphere comes from tiny marine plants in the ocean, specifically phytoplankton, kelp, and algal plankton. Probably messed those up, so sorry about that. Scientists estimate they're responsible for around 70% of the atmosphere's oxygen, according to National Geographic. Number 31. We have better maps of Mars than of the ocean. Less than 5% of the ocean has been explored Oceans make up almost all of the living space on Earth. This makes the world's oceans the largest spaces in the known universe, inhabited by living organisms. Number 34. The part of the ocean that's the furthest from land is named after a classic novel. Found in the Pacific Ocean, Point Nemo is the most remote spot in another of the world's oceans. According to the NOAA, it is about 1,670 miles from land, and it's aptly named after a character in Jules Verne's famous book, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Number 35. The proteins that help Arctic fish live in super cold temperatures may change how our food is stored. As biologist Peter Davies explained to NPR in 2013, organisms that live in the waters at each pole have antifreeze proteins in their bodies that keep ice crystals from forming on them and harming them. Scientists are trying to figure out how these proteins can be applied to more human problems, like keeping your pint of cherry Garcia from getting freezer burned. Number 36. The ocean's rip currents are the biggest danger you face at the beach. Per the NOAA, rip currents, which are currents that occur near breaking waves, amount for more than 80% of rescues performed by surf beach lifeguards. What can you do to stay safe from them? Firstly, never swim at a beach without a lifeguard present, and secondly, if you do get caught in a current, don't fight against it. Let it carry you until you can safely swim back to shore. I don't really know about how that would work exactly, because, do currents not just exist the whole time? I don't know. I mean, I've always heard, if you do get caught in a rip current, to swim kind of diagonal or something. Never try to swim straight. Swim, diagonal, but I'm not really sure. I don't know about that. I try to not go out far enough to get in that, but I definitely have almost been caught in those before. So, number 37. Climate change impacting the Atlantic could put northern Europe in a deep freeze. One of the many effects of climate change is that the thermohaline circulation of the Atlantic Ocean, the system that balances the ocean by keeping warm and cool currents moving in the right direction, is slowing down, according to a Smithsonian magazine.